Welcome to Motivate Me. My name is Soraya Rowe and I will be your hostess. Today I'm joined with great co-hosts Amy, Joe, and our interviewer will be Kyle. We will be talking about the concepts of neurospicy, what it means and what it is, and covering some experiences we have personally had. First, let's hear from Amy. Amy, what is neurospicy?
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Amy, and what neurospicy is a recently developed playful internet term to describe neurodiversity. It is used to describe groups of people who show different ways of thinking and dealing with challenges in day-to-day life. This new word, neurospicy, offers a more light-hearted descriptor to introduce the topic. As light-hearted as it may seem, some people think that the word plays down difficulties faced by people who are neurodivergent. This new word, neurospicy, offers a more light-hearted descriptor to introduce the topic. As light-hearted as it may seem, some people think that the word plays down difficulties faced by people who are neurodivergent. It's a quirky word, so I can see how it can make some people more comfortable to use. However, I feel I'm being described to the flavours of food, which doesn't really sit right with me, as it should be taken a bit more seriously due to difficulties some people do face every day. Let's move on to hearing some stories from Joe and Soraya.
So tell us, Joe, when did you know you were neurospicy?
Hello, I'm Joe. My experience with ADHD is I was diagnosed about 3 years ago. I feel if I was diagnosed earlier, I could have been offered more help and would have stayed out of trouble throughout school and more help with my GCSEs.
What kind of trouble did you get into?
I couldn't really stay focused or listen for too long. This became an issue when I would distract myself by talking to others in class or disrupting the lesson.
As somebody with autism and dyspraxia, it often feels like there is nobody I can relate to. For example, autism, a developmental disorder that interferes with my social interaction and communication skills, making things difficult to maintain things like friendships, jobs, etc. From a young age, I always knew there was something that separated me from the rest of my classmates. Why did I cling on so much to one best friend? Why was I the one that felt pain of a stranger before they realised their own trauma? Why couldn't I catch the ball before it hit my face? Why was I the only one that didn't laugh at a joke that everybody else knew the answer to? Sure, I was always a special child to my parents, but not in the same way the rest of the world viewed me. With my superpowers, I soon realised that this was only the start of a never-ending rollercoaster I geared up many masks for. And then I was diagnosed.
I got diagnosed at the age of 4, and I understand that most of the time things can be hard. And to be honest, I do find things difficult. I can overcome it. It's not impossible. I can do things by myself and work independently.
I was diagnosed with ADHD at late 16. This is common for girls to be diagnosed later than boys. However, due to the late diagnosis, I feel it has affected me with my education and anxiety. I believe this because I've always suffered with inattentive and hyperactive impulsiveness, but most of it is in my head than being shown physically. A fast and easy way to describe this is I had difficulty paying attention, staying focused, restlessness, forgetfulness, disorganisation and interrupting others. So in my opinion, if school had known about my diagnosis sooner, I could have had access to more help instead of my actions always leading me getting into trouble and being labelled as lazy. It is important to remember that these symptoms and our different ways of interpretations of the world are not a lack of effort or motivation, as they are caused by differences in the brain. Everyone is different, it's just a matter of learning and understanding one another.
Thank you all for taking the time out to listen to our podcast. Before we go offline, I'd like to invite you to Motivate Me at Hotwood Hall. This is an opportunity for you to take part in a supportive community This will lead to a creative outcome, such as poetry, writing and group discussion. This event will be held 12 till 1 on a Thursday in room A207, and feel free to bring lunch. If you feel like you have missed out on anything throughout this podcast, don't worry, as this will be streamed and available on our YouTube account. This will be leading to the podcast.
Don't remind me, I might have my own day.